Okay, so this is my Righteous Fire Juggernaught Marauder. Let's take a look at Righteous Fire. It's pretty simple. It engulfs you in magical fire that rapidly burns you and nearby enemies. Your spell damage is substantially increased while under this effect. The effect ends when you have 1 life remaining. And if you look down the stats, right now we're doing 30% less area of effect, 33% increased area of effect damage, +2 radius, and yada yada yada. Basically what this means is we're going to be running around with a big circle of fire around us, killing everything in sight without really having to lift a finger. Now, some things to point out about this build. Number one, this is not a build that you start out early with and just progressively get better and better as you go along. In fact, you can't even get Righteous Fire until I believe it's level 24. And even at that point, it's pretty useless because you'll kill yourself just a few seconds after you activate it because you burn yourself up. Instead, you really have to follow a specific skill tree to get up to where you have lots of fire resistance and life regeneration. Get your life regeneration, and over like here there's fire resistance and stuff. So you really have to level up, building up this skill tree to where you can eventually really start using the build, which I started around, if I remember correctly, around the mid-30s. It wasn't until about level 40 that I stopped taking enormous amounts of damage to where I didn't have to just about drink a potion every other second. What really is helping now is Warcry generating endurance charges. I'll show that in a few seconds. When this build will really shine is when I get my next set of ascendancy points, which will mean that I will automatically be generating endurance charges. I won't have to be manually casting my Warcry. So let's go burn some stuff. Oops, go the other way. Running into a wall there, I'm not too bright. Haven't had enough coffee yet today. Here we go. So the first thing I do is I activate my I do my Warcry, which gives me my 5 endurance charges, and that gives me damage reduction and regeneration. And if I start taking a little bit too much damage, I just pop a flask. Of course, since we're killing stuff really fast, our flasks are regenerating pretty quickly too, so we don't really have to worry too much about that. So here we go. All I'm doing is running around, and anything that I touch dies. Pretty much a no-brainer build. There's no mechanics involved other than just right now having to hit my Warcry. Once I get Warcry up, get 5 charges going, I just hit it every 10 seconds to restart the clock on it, just like that. Now you notice I'm not even really taking much damage, and when I do, I regenerate pretty darn quickly. Oops, just lost my endurance. There we go, back up to 4 charges. Now we're at 5 charges, there we go. Yeah, we're about to lose. Whoops. Got it just. No, didn't get it in time. That's pretty much it. I did spend a couple of tries and made sure that I also got the Val Righteous Fire, which increases the... Oops, I'm starting to take damage. You only drink a potion, which increases the area that the circle of fire does, and it massively increases the damage. I basically pop that on bosses. Very handy. I also have, for any really tough fights, I do have my Ancestral Protector and my Ancestral War Chief that I can pop. I really don't use them too often at this point because, I mean, I don't really need them unless I get to bosses, and even then I'm doing pretty good. Okay, so that's pretty much that.